Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Someone recently asked me, what is a low man? In this video, I'm going to show you a basic low man template. Now, the definition of low man is very simple. The term low, it just simply means by mix. So low man is basically mixing noodles with whatever food ingredients that you have. And usually when you create a low man, you have the noodle cooked in advance. And you cook a dish with different type of proteins and vegetables with a sauce. And then you combine the noodles with the dish. And you mix everything together. Then you have a low man. Very simple, easy, and straightforward. Now, as you know, I cook with my fast cooking system, and the word fast is the acronym for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. Using my fast cooking system, I make home cooking spontaneous, simple, but most importantly, it's practical, efficient, creative, and fun. This allows me to cook a meal from scratch anytime I want, of using all fresh ingredients in less than 30 minutes, usually on average about 15 to 20 minutes. The key of this system is that you make use whatever is available to you in your advanced prepping. Now, in this case, the noodles is part of my advanced prepping. The noodle that I've shown here is the type of noodles known as sweet potato noodles. As you know that noodles are made from different kinds of starch, and this is just simply made from sweet potato starch. Now, if you never had sweet potato noodles before, this may be something that you want to try. It's frequently also known as glass noodles because they are almost transparent. Cooking this noodle is very similar to cook any other type of noodles, such as wheat noodles, rice noodles, or mung bean noodles. Now, I boil my sweet potato noodles in my 14-inch Cuisinart stainless steel wok. And the wok turned out to be excellent for boiling noodles because of its large opening. It not only allows the noodles to be easily manipulated, but it also prevents the water from boiling over. I boil my sweet potato noodles for about 8 to 10 minutes until it starts to soften to the texture that I want. One thing I really like about sweet potato noodles is that they will not disintegrate after you boil them for any length of time. Nevertheless, I usually stop them from cooking by transferring them into a bowl of cold water. I then drain the water and put them into plastic containers. I usually use a pair of scissors to cut them up because the noodles are very long. Sweet potato noodles have an excellent shelf life. Usually they can store in the refrigerator up to 2 weeks. So for the noodles that I used to cook this dish has been in the refrigerator for about 10 days. I cook this dish with my basic low man template. Once you're familiar with the template, you can make different substitutions to create many different variety of a low man dish. A template-based cooking has a tremendous advantage. It allows you to make use whatever ingredients that you have on hand. And this gives you a lot of leeways to create different versions of this basic template. Sometimes you create a dish based on what is available to you, and sometimes you create a dish based on what is your desired flavor choice. And quite often, it is a mixture of the two. For this low man dish, I'm going to use 2 different kinds of proteins. The first one is some egg. I use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok to mix this dish. I first season the dish to create a non-stick cooked surface using my spot seasoning method. I crack the egg directly into the wok. The reason I do that is that I fry the egg in such a way that would provide a separation in flavor between the egg yolks and the egg white. This makes the egg more interesting. And then I season the egg with my basic seasoning mix. This will make the egg more flavorful in the dish. I next set the egg aside, and now I'm ready to cook the remaining part of the dish. And because of my advanced prepping, I'm going to use 6 different kinds of vegetables to cook this dish. I'm going to start out with some eggplants. I use a cooking approach that I call it sequential stir frying. Basically, is that I add the different food ingredients according to how long I want to cook them in order, so that I will add the ingredients that I want to cook longer first. In this case, eggplant and a Chinese vegetable known as you cai xing was added to the wok first. You cai xing and eggplant takes a similar amount of time to cook. Again, because of advanced prepping, I have both of them available right in my fingertip. Next, I add some cauliflower to the wok. Now, all of these 3 vegetable ingredients takes nearly the same amount of time to cook. So this way, by the time when they are ready, they will all achieve the desired texture that I want. This is a wonderful technique that will allow you to achieve the texture of each ingredient exactly how you like it. This is then followed by the addition of some shiitake mushroom. This shiitake mushroom comes in dry form, and you have to hydrate it first before you add it to the wok. I used this shiitake mushroom several days ago for a hot pot, and I have still some left, so this is perfect for using in this dish. And by this time, I add some shrimp. The shrimp that I pre-coated with some cornstarch. The cornstarch will protect the shrimp from the heat, and it will give the shrimp a more moist and tender texture. The timing in adding the ingredient to the wok is important. The ingredients that you want to cook longer, you add to the wok in the beginning, and this will give you the desired texture for cooking them longer. As the ingredients that you do not want to cook as long, then you will add them to the final stages of the cooking process. Next, I add about ½ cup of chopped purple cabbage. I add them toward the end of the cooking process because I want to maintain their crispy texture. The ingredients that I add in a large amount, I call them the primary ingredients. They define the flavor and texture of the dish. And the ingredients that I add in a relatively small amount, I call them secondary or tertiary ingredients. They usually used to complement the primary ingredients. The dish is almost done. I turn the heat down. I season the dish with about 1½ tablespoon of oyster sauce. I season the dish very lightly. The oyster sauce will add umami flavor to the dish. This dish is rich in flavor with 6 different kinds of vegetables, as well as with 2 proteins, the egg as well as the shrimp. Personally, I find the dish tastes much better when it is not overwhelmed by, say, one strong flavor. Next, I add a cornstarch suspension to the wok. This will allow me to thicken the sauce in the wok. I can adjust the thickness of the sauce by adding water if it is too thick, or by adding more cornstarch suspension if it is too thin. The final step is to add 3 cups of sweet potato noodles to the wok. This sweet potato noodles has been stored in the refrigerator for about 3 days. I use a pair of long handled tongs to tease them apart, and then mix them with food ingredients as well as the sauces in the wok. I did the final taste test. I decided I'm going to add a little bit more soy sauce to achieve the level of saltiness that I want. As you can see here, there's really no cooking involved in these final stages. All I am doing is to mix the noodles with the food ingredients that I cooked earlier. And the total cook time of this dish is a little bit over 10 minutes. This is an excellent template. It is simple, efficient, quick, and creative. You can use this template for different types of noodles. And you can also adjust the different ingredients to make the dish. In my opinion, for a low-main dish, the sweet potato noodles are probably the best noodles to use. It is most absorbent for the fluid in the dish. than any other noodles that I have tried before. This gives the noodles great flavor. So for about 10 minutes, you can create a wonderful noodle dish that will parallel to any other noodle dish that you will be able to get in a restaurant or in a takeout place. This is my approach to help you to make home cooking fun, creative, practical, and efficient. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking feasible as your daily routine, that you can create a home-cooked meal, use all fresh ingredients in less than 30 minutes. So if you want to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.